I have something I've been carrying with me since I was a kid. Something that means the world to me. That I didn't realize I had it until recently. And I'm going to share it with the world. I've finally been bringing it to life and realized the bigger picture of my life's work and my art and what I'm talking about. So years ago, whenever I was a kid, I had a project, a Christmas story project in like English class. It was like second grade, and it was the first time I ever actually wrote a story. And I found that I actually loved it. I got a rush from it. Like I was in second grade, and you only needed like a certain amount of pages, but I had like 10 times the amount of page. I might be over exaggerating, but my memory is I just kept writing and writing and writing, and like I added so much lore inside my story and depth and character arcs. And I was just a kid. I didn't realize what was going on, and I never really tapped back into that until like another couple of years after that. I wrote a story on my own as a kid. I was just downstairs at the computer, and on Microsoft Word, I thought it was so cool that you could just type on a computer, like like it was highly advanced technology, being able to type pages with words on them. And so for some reason I decided to write a spy story, and it was only like a page or two long, but I got that same rush. But then after that, I had just kind of buried it, kitty. I didn't write again after that, okay? I'm sorry. I basically went my teenage years and most of my childhood not writing or anything. I mean, I liked English class. I liked writing projects for the most part because I've always liked writing. But I never dove into that storytelling and like creating like stories with like characters and depth. And so not until my early adult life, then I know I wrote like a horror story inside one of my journals, like just for fun. For some reason, like every now and then stories would come out of me. It would be like I'd be writing a story out of nowhere. I would just get an urge to just start writing down these ideas that come to me. I'd always come out with like movie ideas or just like general story concepts. And then I fell in love with music, obviously, for like most of my adult life. Basically after the age of 18, I'd started writing and doing songwriting. So all of my creative energy went there, but every now and then I would write a story, just not even thinking that I would share it with the world. Just like, I like writing stories. Maybe I'll share it with the world one day. I don't know. But as I fell in love with music and went down that path, I created the stage persona ZmanTheVegan, a vegan superhero. I have the mask and the green and the Z. And I started performing. Like, I'd been street performing. I'd been performing as Zach, but then I started performing as this stage persona, and I started this channel. And as I did that for years, I kind of just brainstormed, like, you know, who is Z-Man the Vegan? What is the lore of this character? And also organically, a darker side to Z-Man came out, Crazy Man and other characters, villains and some other heroes, and just certain concepts. And eventually I thought of the idea of like a movie or just a story to go to Z-Man's, like the lore of my stage persona. And over the past like 5 years, the first couple years, I kind of just like gradually wrote different drafts or like the concepts. I wrote multiple different concepts. I kept just thinking of fresh ideas of how, if I had the opportunity to make like a giant like 5 film of this story, what would it be? Like what would I do to make something that's actually like, you know, speaks to me and is amazing? And I never really had anything like that. I mean, I would come up with ideas and concepts, and it was big, but they had a lot of plot holes, and there was just a lot that was open-ended. And so for years, I kind of just kept hoarding all these ideas that were fragmented. And I started to write it like once or twice, and each time it was like, I'm not sure where these arcs are gonna go. Like where's it gonna lead? So I had cool concepts and like some like emotional struggles and themes that I really resonate with authentically, that I've experienced in my life, that I put in there, but it just wasn't really working out until one day. I mean, this entire time I thought, okay, I'll just come back to it and work on it after I'm like rich and famous or successful, or after I reach a certain amount of success in music, then I can put time towards this. But then one day I was like, yeah, I might as well start writing the story, because ideas started coming to me. And so I started writing it, or I thought I might as well like just write this idea down and then come back to it later. But whenever I started writing it, it's like all the ideas that came to me just opened up the world, and it started to actually come to life. And I was working with ChatGPT, and that basically allowed me to work out the plot holes, work out like more depth and direction, and make things more consistent, and actually a well-rounded, like deep story. And so I went into this session just thinking I would like write down more notes that I get back to in like 5 or 10 years. But then as I got like captivated by it, like I was there for hours and hours, and then it turned into days and weeks of me just working on this. And then I realized I gotta do this now. Like, now is the time to create this. And I also realized that there is a passion and like a skill, or just a gift, and a story inside of me, like storytelling and creation. Guys, get along, come on, kitties. That I was not really neglecting, but I had never dove into it this deep ever before in my life. Like I've had certain pockets of my life where I wrote stories, but I didn't think about it. But now I realize, like, this is something I must do. I must write this superhero saga. I'm creating an entire universe. Each episode is a narration, and then I'm putting comic book style images over the narration with like sound effects and my original music. And they're about 40 minutes to an hour long. Some are about 2 hours long, but most are about 40 minutes to an hour long. And as of right now, it looks like I'm going to have like 100 episodes, give or take. I almost have the first season done, which is 7 episodes. And yeah, so ever since that, I mean, it's been a gradual build up, but ever since that moment where I just started that session with ChatGPT, and then I like worked out all the plot holes and everything, and then my ideas just kept coming to me until the world there was so much momentum, and the world fit together so much in the story and the arcs and everywhere, that I was like, all right, I have to create this. And so here I am. It's coming out in 2026, the first episode. 2 episodes out every month. The first and third Wednesday of every month, an episode will come out. And I'm very excited. This has been years in the making, and it'll probably take me 10 to 20 years to complete the complete timeline of the series that I have, but I might still leave it open-ended, because it's a whole new superhero universe that I'm creating. And I'm excited for y'all to come along this journey. So leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching. Are you a fan of superhero sagas, or is this something you would be excited to see? What's your favorite saga? Or not even just superhero. I mean, there's also just like other fantasy stuff or sci-fi stuff. I don't know, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. What's your favorite one? Leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching. For the animals, woo!